What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave, and we are live. It is 2 a.m. here in wonderful Germany. And what better time to come on and rap with you guys and do an old school viewer questions live right here on Dead on Dave Productions. We're going to talk about a few things. I want to talk about Shinsuke Nakamura. I want to talk about the possible brand split and why I think it will work. We're going to get to all your viewer questions. We're going to get to your calls on the Skype, David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA, and of course the number 702-751-2902. We're going to talk about all that and a whole lot more. But first I want to begin with a thank you. That's right. Thank you, everybody, for continuing to support the channel. We are now at 2,200 subs on the channel. Why I think it will work. I am absolutely just overwhelmed. Thank you guys for all of the support. Even when I am not at my best, I'm still feeling like absolute dog ass. A little bit less dog ass than I have been feeling. That's why I'm doing the show. Everything kind of lined up. I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, well, what's going on? Why are these shows at this time and everything? Well, this weekend is kind of weird, and next weekend is going to be insane. So everything worked out for me to go a little bit later tonight and do a viewer question, a Dead on Dave live viewer question. So I wanted to do that tonight at this time. Instead of, going a little bit earlier with the Friday night scares and everything, which honestly I just wasn't feeling up to because I'm not feeling fantastic. I'm still in a lot of pain. I'm a little drugged out. I'm a little high. I'm a little high right now. A little high, just a little bit. And, so I'm a little loopy, but that's okay. Another big reason is because we've got the fantasy baseball draft right here live tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I am so pumped. Year 2 of the Dead on Dave Productions Fantasy Baseball Draft. It is boom. We are very excited about it, and I can't wait. That's going to be a lot of fun, so we're going to be doing that live tomorrow night. And then next week, of course, is WrestleMania. We got a lot of good stuff happening, and I can't wait for it, to be completely honest. And so this is the perfect opportunity to take care of all of it. So that's what we do. We're going to go through everything you guys want to talk about and a little bit more. And we're going to go ahead and start with this. Shinsuke Nakamura. I always want to say Shinsuke. I'm so white. Shinsuke Nakamura. But before I do that, big shout out to everybody in the chat. Joe Martin being annoying as always. Patrick Lynn, Pittsburgh boy, Carl Gibney, fake ass twat, all you guys. I appreciate you hanging out. CJM Stop Motions, Boss Haza, Chris Payne. Got all kinds of good people. Hope you guys are having a very good evening, and thank you for spending some of that time with Dead on Dave Productions. So let's get into it, man. Shinsuke Nakamura, dude. Everybody's talking about it. It's a huge thing. A lot of people are faking like they know who the hell he is, and that's fine too. But here's the thing. With him coming here, with him coming to the WWE, people are taking notice. I think the WWE have done the smart thing in trying to maximize his visual. People are looking him up based on that amazing introduction they did, getting him into the big situation with Sami Zayn at NXT TakeOver Dallas, which I'm super excited about. But they did such a good job in handling his introduction and showing him going to the Performance Center and all these great things that people are looking him up. He's so different than what people are expecting. It's one of these things. If you've never really seen Shinsuke Nakamura perform, it's really difficult to explain exactly what you're in for. A very, very popular way of describing Shinsuke is this. He's like if Freddie Mercury was an MMA fighter that decided to wrestle, because he's unbelievably charismatic. He's so flamboyant. I mean, it's a show. He's a rock star. He's Asuka in a lot of ways, just as physical, just as nasty. He's the king of strong style, and that's not bullshit. We are talking about a guy who started in combat sports as a 23-year-old super rookie, absolutely destroying people in wrestling and in MMA, winning titles in both ventures in Japan, doing a lot of just incredible things, and things that people never saw before. He'd go on these excursions, these these things that you haven't seen fighters do. Like, I'm going to go to Tibet for 6 months and just learn how to do a different type of discipline. He traveled to the States, trained with Brock Lesnar after having epic encounters with him when Brock was in Japan. It's just all these things that Shinsuke is capable of and all these things that he brings to the table. I'm not sure if people in America are ready for it. Let me tell you, he is going to blow the roof off of Dallas because they gave him a perfect opponent in Sami Zayn. Chris Payne, do you think he'll be allowed to do the running knee? I do. I do believe that. Look, they're allowing a lot of physicality right now, and they're going to trust Shinsuke. I think that's one of the reasons why they're putting him in there with a guy like Sami Zayn at first. It's going to be smart. And a lot of the people that he'll face early on are probably guys that he has a lot of relationship with. Finn Balor. I'm expecting AJ Styles relatively soon. A whole bunch of people like that. So I'm excited to see the possibilities of what this guy is really capable. Now the question is, I mean, as with anybody who's a little bit older, who's been around a long time, and really is not a WWE grown product, how big can he be in the WWE? That's the question that you want to get answered, and that's the thing that I think people are going to be looking for. Because Lord knows, the one thing that people are more critical about the WWE than anything else is how they hold back whoever they want, and we don't, we want this and we want that, and they do what they want, fuck us, and all of these things, which some of it is valid, and a lot of it is absolute bullshit. That being said, I don't think that Shinsuke is going to be one of those guys who's held back by the system. And I look at Hideo Itami as evidence of that. Hideo Itami, better known as Kenta to a lot of independent guys, New Japan people. It's pretty great because they were pushing this guy to the moon at this time last year. He had a huge win going into the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. He got into it. They made a huge spectacle. They filmed it. They showed it. And then he got hurt. And that was unfortunate. But you felt something big was on the horizon for Hideo Itami. Shinsuke is even a bigger star than Kenta. And he's bigger. He's 6'2". He's that size that people want to see in the WWE. He's physical. He's everything that you really want out of a professional wrestler in WWE's eyes. So I think that there's really no reason to think that he can't be a top star in wrestling in the WWE. I don't think that there's a lot of reasons to think that he won't be. I do believe that there's a lot of change that's going to be happening within the WWE, and I don't think that some of the things that they've said on camera recently with Shane talking about how Vince is out of touch, I'm not sure if all of that is bullshit. I'm not sure if all of that isn't an actual admission. And I know some people are going to be like, oh no, that would never happen. I'm not so sure. Sometimes the WWE is very introspective, and especially when they're making huge changes. Remember, we are talking about a company, and yes, a Vince McMahon who famously gave a speech on Monday Night Raw talking about how what he was doing wasn't working and how listening to the fans and giving a more real life product and a more attitude based product was what was going to happen and what they were going to do. So this would not be the first time that the WWE would be looking at things like that and making a drastic change. I believe this whole Shane McMahon situation really does kind of, really throw that out there. It's what's going to be catapulting us in that direction. And a guy like Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles, Finn Balor, I think some of the other New Japan guys that are coming over, they just signed another tag team. All these people that they are signing and bringing in, whether or not they're in supporting roles down in NXT or they're going to be taking bigger roles in WWE, I do believe they are part of this new wave that is going to be happening that I think people are going to be really excited about. Now, that being said, don't think you're going to get everything you want and everything's going to be hearts and rainbows. Look, the reality is this company is still going to be led by guys like John Cena and Roman Reigns, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to be brought to higher levels due to guys like Shinsuke Nakamura, due to guys like AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Hideo Itami eventually when he gets healthy. I think we're going to see a better balance. And that's why I'm kind of going into the next topic being the brand split that so many people in this chat and such say is impossible to work. I think it's the only thing that can work. I think everybody's talking about, well, let's like Jay Davis early in the chat. I don't think he's here right now, but he said something. He goes, why are we talking about brand split? We need to fix Raw. See, my friend, we're talking about the same thing in my book. What does everybody complain about Monday Night Raw? 3 hours of Raw, and they use the same guys, and they don't book properly, and all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. If you go to a brand split, and by the way, the roster is nowhere near as thin as some people want to say they are. It is. There's a lot of talent on this roster that is simply not being utilized. So if you go to a brand split, which I do believe this entire Shane McMahon thing has been the point of doing, because when you have Shane win this match, regardless of how it happens, Undertaker laying down, whatever is going to happen, it's going to be spectacular. Shane's going to win the next night. It's not like the Authority's just going to go away. They're going to pivot to SmackDown, where I think more than likely we're going to see that being led more by Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and according to a graphic that has been leaked now, whether or not this is true or not or real, it does seem to be some credence to it, but the graphic it's there to at least speculate on. There's a graphic that has a SmackDown side and a Raw side with 2 sets of main groups on each side. On the SmackDown side, you have Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, The New Day, Dolph Ziggler, and Paige. And on the Raw graphic, you have John Cena, Kevin Owens, Bray Wyatt, Alberto Del Rio, Charlotte, and Nikki Bella. Now that's interesting to me, because if you are going to have a brand split, if you are going to have a split in talent, those are the main event talents, 5 or 6 each that you would build around. And then you have a whole bunch of supporting guys like AJ Styles, the Jerichos, the Balors, the Zaynes, and people like that kind of rounding it out. That's interesting to me because that makes all the sense in the world. It's going to be pretty damn cool to see them at least attempt it, because here's what they're going to, by doing a brand split, people are going to get what they want and not even realize it, because you're going to see new matchups. You're going to see longer matches, which I also think somewhere down the road, Raw will end up going to 2 hours. I just don't think 3 hours is, in the long run, the best way to go on it. Now, that being said, Raw is probably, that's the case for giving up the third hour. Raw is not going to give it up because that's ad revenue, a lot of ad revenue. And considering they don't do pay-per-views really anymore and stuff like that, the ad revenue is more important than ever before. And I don't think a lot of people take that into consideration. A lot of ad revenue based off of that, so they're going to continue to do that. And that's why that third hour is so important to the WWE. Now, I think that there's more than enough talent to be able to stretch out matches and things like that. Matches that we typically are seeing on Main Event and Superstars, there's no reason can't be filled in throughout the entire show on both Raw and SmackDown. And there's nothing wrong with every week having like an NXT showcase where you have one match that's from NXT that you show. There are options here. You have 2 guys show up every week from NXT and have a match. I mean, there's just so many options that you can do to make this work that I just don't see the reason not to do it. And I just have this feeling that with The Undertaker almost 100% losing this match, because I don't think there's any sense in him winning it, because the last thing you want coming out of this WrestleMania, which is so polarizing because everyone's confused, because you got one group of people who are saying, oh, this is the worst WrestleMania build of all time. Some people are saying this card is so boring, yet they've sold like 100,000 tickets. So obviously the interest is there. This is not that bad of a card to be able to sell that many. And don't give me that bullshit, it's WrestleMania, Dave, because that's not enough to get that many people out there just for fuck's sake. There's more to it than that. I think it's because you see a lot of people see what I see, and that's the spectacle. And I've said it before. I don't think this is going to be the greatest wrestling show you've ever seen, but we got NXT for that 2 days before. Next Friday night, we've got NXT TakeOver Dallas, and then Sunday we're going to have this spectacular event with all of these wrestlers that we might be seeing for the last time, or potentially seeing for the last time. Mick Foley, Shane McMahon, Undertaker. We're going to see Sting in some capacity because he's going to the Hall of Fame. Stone Cold, The Rock. I mean, all of these people. It's pretty exciting. It's pretty damn exciting when you really stop and look at it. And if they can deliver on half the matches, I believe we're going to have one hell of an event. And when you look at some of the match card and how it's built, I think more than half this card's going to deliver. Now, am I in the era of unbridled optimism right now? Maybe. Maybe I am. But I'm just looking at, because what's the point of hating? What's the point of going, oh, this is going to suck? Because then my life sucks and my job sucks and I don't want to do this shit. Fuck that. I'm going to look at it. I see the potential there. And that's also why that I see the potential what Roman Reigns did last night. And even though everyone's like, you're insane. I'm not insane. Well, maybe I am. I'm also high. Very high. Sean Bonner was right. A good ramble. Now let's slow it down. Shrewd Canadian, they haven't sold 100,000 tickets. Well, about 6 weeks ago, they sold 85,000. So they're pretty damn close to 100, Jack. Just letting you know. Now let's go ahead and open it up to the phone lines right now. Go ahead and call in on Skype. David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA, or use the number 702-751-2902. Go ahead and call in, talk about whatever you guys like, and we will do our thing. And then if we don't get a lot of calls or whatever, I'll get up out of here. I'll go to sleep. You guys don't want to hear from me? I don't want to hear from you. How about that? Sean Bonner said earlier in the chat, WWE Supercar is the devil. I agree it is. It's the goddamn devil. Oh, my God. Oh, that game pisses me off. I haven't even been able to play, what's it called? The game that I'm playing, Hearthstone, because of WWE Supercard. Jesus Christ, drive me nuts. Fake ass twat. Dave, do you agree that Taker Shane has to be the main event with the massive stipulations and the high stakes, and the match is going to be violent brawl? It's overshadowed everything else that would follow it, and anything else the main event would just feel stupid. 100% agree. 100% agree with you, fake ass twat. I've been saying it for a while. I do believe that we are going to see that as the main event because there's a lot of things that they can do with that. Not only as closing out the show with its stipulations, but incorporating what happened in the title match as well. So, yeah, I do think it's going to be the main event. I think it has to be the main event. Let's take some calls. 347, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Dave, what's going on?
What's up?
I want to ask you a quick question. At NXT TakeOver in Dallas, do you think Samoa Joe's going to win? Because I think he's going to win.
Yes, I do. I think he's going to win. I think you can go either way with it. I made the argument last night kind of both ways that I could see there's legitimate ways that you can do both things. Like if you want to go with a heel Finn Balor, you can have him either win or lose. Samoa Joe doesn't necessarily have to win. That's kind of the beauty of NXT, isn't it? The winner soft landing spot, guys. I mean, very, very soft landing spots because you can go with Owens, but he's got another huge rival that he's been fighting with his entire career in AJ Styles. Soft landing spot. Easy spot to put Samoa Joe in is AJ Styles.
Yeah, did they, I don't know if they did this yet. No. Sorry, I'm stupid for asking that. I think Styles should have been in the ladder match. I really do. Because I don't know, what the first belts they're going to, aim him for. I bet it's probably the Intercontinental belt. I don't know.
See, here's the thing. I thought that they could make this move, but the more I've thought about it, and it's just they told such a good story with Jericho and Styles, it kind of deserves its ending at WrestleMania. It deserves its spot to really shine at WrestleMania, doesn't it? So I think that is going to be a great match in and of itself. Plus, the ladder match, even with the 3 bullshit wrestlers that nobody wants to see, it looks like it's going to be exciting. Look, I'm a little bit excited to see Zack Ryder.
Yeah, they teased him. It was so funny.
Dude, he looks jacked, man. He looks like he is just absolutely fucking ripped and shredded and steroided up. It looks incredible. He looks great. Sin Cara, Sin Cara is going to deliver in a ladder match. We saw what he did before in ladder matches. He's going to be fun. Who's the other one? Fucking Stardust. Stardust, who's a great performer. And you add that to the other 4 guys, Ziggler, Miz, Owens, and Zayn, it's going to be a pretty bad-ass match.
Yeah. I'm breaking up with you, so I'll just talk to you tomorrow, all right? I can't hear you too well.
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate it, Joe Martin. You have yourself a good night, buddy.
I did.
Thank you. Joe Martin, everybody. Joe Martin. You want to be like Joe, you can call in on Skype, David Vancura, DavidVancura, or use the number 702-751-2902. You could also go pick yourself up some Dead on Dave merchandise over at www.deadondave.spreadshirt.com. We got all kinds of great shirts there. Make sure you go check it out. Support the channel. And if you want to support the channel in a more direct way, go ahead and donate to the channel right in the description box below. Donate. You'll get a nice little graphic and all that stuff. And if you have a question, you can ask it there, and I'll answer it immediately. You can also go ahead and promote whatever channel or project you're doing through the donation block as well. All right, another call. Matt J., you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
How's it going, man?
What's up, dude?
I wanted to ask you something about TakeOver Dallas.
Yes.
After Nakamura has a match with Sammy, how long do you see him staying down there?
Approximately 0 hours.
You think that's going to be it after the match with Sammy?
I think you can. It all depends. I think it really depends on his reaction, what he does with Zayn. There's really not a whole lot of purpose of keeping him down there. This is not an Asuka situation where there's where her need is more about continuing to support that division that just lost 3 huge stars. There is still so much talent on the NXT males roster that you don't really need Shinsuke down there. You do need him on the main roster, especially if I'm right and there is going to be a brand split. You could really use a talent like him up there, especially with some of the other guys who are already there and potentially coming in. So it makes all the sense in the world for me to see him not spend a lot of time in NXT, although I wouldn't be against it either. Because, I mean, matches with him and Aries, him and Joe, him and Balor, I mean, him and anybody. It's like AJ Styles. I want to see them fight everybody.
Yeah. I mean, like, if he comes up to the main roster, there's so many great matches he could have with a lot of people. Like
Immediately.
Him and AJ.
Immediately.
Him and Owen. I mean, there's so many options.
Well, remember, Zayn's on the main roster, too. So, I mean, I think that's a little bit of a tip that he could be going straight up as well. Because he's fighting a guy. Yes, it's on the NXT card, but he's fighting a guy who's already permanently on the main roster. So you have something there where Zayn can challenge him the next night, or they can just have a return match the next night on Raw. You know, like after that amazing NXT Dallas Takeover event, Shinsuke Nakamura makes his WWE Raw debut against Sami Zayn. That'll put some fucking butts in the seats, won't it?
Yes, it would. I'm so excited for that Takeover show.
Me too. I think everybody is.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's good. I'm not going to be like other people and say it's going to destroy WrestleMania, but I do think it's going to be the better show.
I mean, it certainly could. You know, that's the thing. I want to answer a question real quick. Taylor May 420 Rogers says, if they do a brand split, what's going to happen with the WWE World Heavyweight Champion? Do they appear on both? This is how I would do it, because I think while I am saying that the roster is there to support both brands, I do feel that one of the biggest mistakes, especially later on with the brand split, is having 2 separate champions. I think you have the WWE champion, you have him being able to go between both shows. Same thing with the tag championships and the women's champion. I think all three of those champions should be able to go between both shows and find number one contenders, and that's going to bring all kinds of great storylines in and of itself. And then the main working man's champions for each show will be the Intercontinental and United States championships. And I think that would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
Now, what was the question you just asked? I'm sorry.
Wait, what? I forgot what I said.
Well, do you have anything else?
Yes. You will be doing a preview and prediction show for TakeOver, right?
We will be doing a preview, a warm-up, and a prediction show. We're going to do the prediction show the night before TakeOver, and then I'm going to find a way to squeeze all this shit in. And maybe okay, wait, let me think this through. Let me think this through. Because does it make sense to do a prediction and a warm-up? Should I do the prediction right before NXT TakeOver? What do you think? That's the question. Because
well, you probably think my opinion is irrelevant, but I don't think it makes sense.
I just asked for it, you knob. How can I think it's irrelevant if I just asked you? Hold on, we got a donation. I got to look at the donation. I heard it, but I didn't see it. Carl G donated $1. Dave, do you find it weird that WWE.com has no mention of tag titles for New Day versus League of Nations? No, because they've mentioned it enough. I don't know. Maybe they just don't care. Who knows? I didn't even notice that they didn't mention it, so I don't know. It is a little weird now that you bring that up. Why didn't it show up? God damn it. Oh, because I don't have the... No, that's why. That's why. That makes sense. If you're looking for a graphic, you should probably put the graphic in the box, right? That makes all the sense in the world. I love being terrible at everything I do. Okay. Nice. Give me 1 second. What was it that you asked? Thank you for your donation, by the way, Carl.
You're talking about me, right?
No. Well, I'm thinking... Shit. I'm thinking that maybe we don't... Yeah, well, look, there's going to be a prediction show and then a post show. There's going to be a review and a prediction show. I was thinking about doing a prediction and a warm-up, but, I mean, they're really the same thing. So what we'll do is I think we'll just do the prediction show in place of the warm-up and then the review afterwards. So, yeah, there'll at least be 2 shows for each WrestleMania and mother-friggin' NXT.
That's cool.
All right?
Yeah, one more question. I apologize. Okay.
Get to it. Come on.
Am I the only one that thinks that they have to deliver a quality go-home show Monday?
Have to? Probably not, because it's not going to matter. Tickets are already sold. People who are going to watch are already going to watch. Should they? Absolutely. You know?
Yeah.
You should always put your best foot forward going into WrestleMania. They didn't last year. It was awful last year, the go-home show. So who knows? I think it will be a good show, though. So that's the thing.
It should be. Hopefully it is, because last week, oh my God.
I know, it was really bad. I appreciate the call, Matt J. I'm going to get to other callers, and you're not seeming to stop talking, so I'm going to let you go. Thanks a lot for the call, buddy.
Right.
Take it easy. He was not stopping. He was like, yeah, I'm just going to keep talking. How long is he going to let me go for? Steve Smith, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Hey, Dave, you all right?
I'm alive, brother. How are you? You sound like you're high like me.
Mate, I am pissed as fuck.
Pissed as in drunk or pissed as in angry?
Fucked.
Fuck? That's drunk, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you got to get my lingo down. What you got for me, brother?
I'm just wondering how far you think Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville will go in the main roster.
I think they both potentially could be champions. I think Sami Zayn has a little bit more of a opportunity because of his size and everything and his mass appeal. He'll probably be a champion before Neville, but if Neville stays healthy and gets healthy first, obviously, and then comes back and he was really starting to get going a little bit. I think Neville has a chance to be some kind of a champion. A world champion, I don't know, because he is small and that is kind of hard to get over sometimes. But people love him, and don't discount that.
And I know what you mean, mate, but Neville comes from where I'm from, and I feel as though like his vocals, like how I talk like Neville.
Yeah.
And it comes across a bit like difficult for Americans to understand.
Yeah, it can.
I went to Vegas last year, and I was talking to people, and they hadn't a clue what I was saying. I had to repeat myself like 3 times, man.
Oh yeah.
So
you guys got
that's
real thick shit going on, man. It is hard sometimes, but when like right now, you're completely clear and you sound great. So I mean, it's possible.
That's good, mate. That's good. But I think Neville's a great wrestler. I think ability-wise, he's so much better than Sami Zayn. But I just think
they're different. They're different. They're different guys. I think they're both fantastic, but they are different wrestlers.
Yeah, but in my opinion, I think Neville is so much better than Sami Zayn ability-wise. But I just feel as though his vocal skills are just going to hold him off a bit.
Well, Sammy's not a great talker either. That's the thing. I mean, Sami Zayn is not a fantastic talker. So we'll see how it's going to go. It's going to be interesting to see those two. I want to see matches between them. We saw a great match. We saw a series of great matches in NXT. So we know what they can do together. It's going to be fun, man.
Oh, it will be, mate. But I've never ever seen a match with Neville and Zayn, but if it's on NXT on the WWE network, I'm going to watch that shit. But ability-wise, obviously, I'm saying that...
well, I mean, it all depends on what you're looking for. I think Neville is... he's
to be honest,
great.
Dave, I watch wrestling for ability. I don't watch it for promos or... what's going on? I watch
I
it
don't
for
know.
the
I think it's
wrestling.
kind of
That's
hard
what I
to
watch
say
it for.
that because you look at what Sami Zayn has done in his career. If you followed El Generico, if he is worse ability wise than Neville, it's by so slight a margin. I really think that conversation can go either way because they bring different things to the table.
Yeah, I just like how fast Neville is and just his high flying ability. I just love that, and I'm a bit of a fanboy because he lives about 2 miles away from where I come from.
Well, there you go. You got
Yeah,
anything else for me before I get you out of here?
yeah. How long do you think it'll be before Samoa Joe or Finn Balor will be on the main roster as well?
I think Samoa Joe might be coming up before Balor. I'm not sure. I thought I had it figured out, but I don't anymore. A big problem for Finn Balor is his stock has gone down because he's gotten so fucking boring as a face. And I don't know if you bring him up to the WWE as a face. I don't think it's a great idea right now because he's so boring. It's all anyone's talking about is how fucking boring this guy is. So if you make the turn down in NXT and you do it with some of the Bullet Club members like people are talking about, I think you have an opportunity to really show just how amazing of a heel and how not boring Finn Balor is. And then you bring him up to a much greater reaction. Now, that being said, he's still going to get a pretty cool reaction if he shows up on Raw the next night in full body paint. So, I mean, there's a couple different ways to look at it. As far as Samoa Joe, whenever they want. Samoa Joe's on whenever they want. He's ready, obviously. So, whenever they want.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Yeah, I went to a house show in the UK when NXT toured in December.
Mm-hmm.
And Balor got no reaction whatsoever.
I've heard that.
Yeah. When I was there the whole time, it was the main event. Sami Zayn, he was just coming back against Finn Balor. And the whole crowd was for Sami Zayn. And Balor beat him. And the whole crowd went home disappointed.
Yeah.
because Balor won. He wasn't a face who won. He was a heel, and everyone went home disappointed. And I could see it then. I went with my girlfriend, and she was like, "I don't like him." I was like, "Why? He's a face," and she's like, "I just don't like him. I just think he's a dick."
Well, yeah, because he looks like a dick. That's the thing. He
Yeah.
is a great dick. I mean, you look at some of the stuff that he did when he was in New Japan and he was leader of the Bullet Club. He's an asshole, man, and he's a really, really good asshole. And he does
Yeah.
look really cocky, especially when he's in that damn black leather jacket. I don't know. I don't like him as a face. He's gotten so boring. So I'm with your girlfriend, man. And I think she's spot on. She's spot
My
on,
girlfriend
governor.
is hot as fuck.
Who's hot?
My girlfriend is hot
Oh,
as fuck.
thank you for putting that out there. I'll take pictures, by the way. I will take pictures. Not nude pictures. I'm not a scumbag, but I like to verify people's accounts of things. So
I'll send you some pussy pics, bro.
no, don't do that. Don't disrespect your woman, dude, or I might have to come take her. That's not cool. All right, man. You have yourself a good night, buddy.
Nebo, mate. See you in a bit.
Take it easy, buddy. Steve Smith, everybody, gonna send me vagina pictures. But what he didn't tell you, it was gonna be his own. Hermaphrodite. I've got both, Dave. I fuck myself. Yeah. All right, so there you go. Still taking more calls, still doing all that good thing, and because I want to. Oh, by the way, speaking of a little bit of fantasy talk, if you guys follow Matt Kazar on the Skypes, or on the Twitters, I should say, let him know that Dead on Dave and he are locked in a monumental battle. Oh, man, Braden Hope got himself 10 goddamn points tonight in hockey, because I am on my way to defending my shot from the point fantasy hockey league championship that I won last year. We're down to the final four. I've got a 25 point lead on Matt Kazar right now with 2 days left. He forgot to set his lineup tonight. It sucks for him, but he still got a hell of a performance out of Braden Hope. But I got nice little performances from my own two people that I had going tonight, and I'm on my way to winning the whole goddamn thing for the second year in a row, which is exactly what I intend to do with the Fantasy Baseball League. Now, I didn't win it last year. I took third, and friggin' Steven Kessel won the thing last year, and he also won my fantasy football, which I also took third in. So I'm not happy about either of those losses, but I'm coming back like fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, baby. I just picked the name. And we are going to win this thing. It's going to be fun. We got a lot of people who are in the chat who are going to be participating. Of course, Jeff Huffman is going to be there. My co-host on Touch 'Em All. We'll be doing a very special Touch 'Em All live baseball draft tomorrow. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait. Oh my God, I'm just going to be dropping bombs. I'm so excited. We're going to have so much fun talking shit. It's going to be a long show. We're going to talk baseball. We'll also take other questions as well from you guys if you want to come hang out. Completely fine. It's going to be great. It's going to be great, man. You're going to get the inside look of my drafting process. It's going to be a lot of fun. So with baseball starting up, hockey beginning to wind down, even though we're getting ready to go into our 3-month playoff system in hockey. Jesus. NBA is winding down, even though the only team that anybody seems to want to talk about in basketball is Golden State. We got all these things. And then, of course, WrestleMania coming up here in 9 days, 10 days. That's going to be WrestleMania season is going to be over. We're in a transition state coming here really soon, and you're going to be noticing changes within the channel as well. Changes I'm very excited about. We got a lot of great things happening. I'm super, super stoked. Joe Martin, I hope I get early draft picks. What the hell does that mean? You're going to get draft picks. You're hoping you get like first? I don't know. Sean Bonner, is order set yet, bro? No, the order does not get set until the draft opens tomorrow night. And if you want to be a part of it, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you guys can come watch, participate, call in, talk shit. It's going to be awesome. So many things happening with that. I can't wait. Cannot friggin' wait. I hope that you guys are going to be participating in that. I also hope you guys are checking out everything that's going on within the community. A long time friend of the channel, good buddy of mine, Tommy NC 2010, of course, had an explosion this week. You know, a very emotional week. It's been a rough week for me physically, but seeing some of my friends do really well this week. Sal Cajeda, starting a new job that he absolutely is in love with. Hearing about that makes me so happy. Too Tall, who's about to hit 2,000 subs. His success is amazing. I'm so happy for him. And of course, Tommy NC 2010, 135,000 subs. Some assholes went and shit on the guy. Now 135,000 subs later. And it's just nice to know that there's still good in this world. It really is, man. It took my breath away, the whole situation. And to see him as happy. I talked to him today for almost an hour, and he's really excited, man. His fans supported him, donated over $2,000 to him last night live to send him to a huge YouTube convention in Florida that he is super excited about going. There's so many cool things happening. YouTube is a cesspool. YouTube is a fucking denizen of shit. I mean, this is where some of the worst people in the entire world are and spew their hate, spew their bullshit. I mean, it really is a rough place sometimes. To see some of the things that we've seen this week is just exciting. To see these 1 million plus subscribers eat each other because they're a bunch of assholes is interesting as hell. To see my buddy Too Tall with the success that he's having right now. He found a new niche, these live reaction videos, the reaction to the Raws, the SmackDowns, and all of that. They're huge, and he is killing it. I'm so happy for him. There's so much great stuff that's going on. So take a moment, smell the roses, and just be really excited about what we're seeing, because it's pretty damn cool, man. And I'm hoping that with this next couple of days, I'm not doing anything tomorrow except the baseball draft, so I'm going to just be resting. Hopefully I'll be feeling a little bit better. I am feeling better now, but I'm also really high. So I'm hoping that with the week, I'm not going to overdo it. I just want to get through this week, man. WrestleMania, and you guys being a part of this journey and supporting me, getting me to 2,200 subs. Just thank you. Thank you for all of it. Thank you for being part of some of the amazing things that's happening within the community. And just take a moment to appreciate it, because it's not every day that we see something like that, especially with all the garbage that YouTube brings us on a daily basis. So, that being said, speaking of garbage, no, I'm just kidding. My good buddy, Gun Cannon, joining me live. What's going on, pal?
It has been one hell of a week for everybody, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Holy Jesus. All I know, that whole thing with Tommy was fantastic. Going to bed looking, it's like, wow, he's at like 60K, and then waking up and going, well, he's good.
I stayed up all night watching that damn ticker, and it was incredible, man. It was incredible.
That was awesome, but he deserves every bit of that. I mean, grinding as hard as he does. I actually went back and watched a ton of his videos, and he puts the work in.
He's just a guy who really wants to entertain. I mean, whether you like his content or not, he really does connect with what he does. He enjoys it. He wants to be famous. He makes no qualms about that. He makes no reservations. He lets you know he wants to be famous. He wants to go to Hollywood. He wants to be an entertainer, and it's awesome, man. It's awesome.
Oh yeah. It's been great to watch Too Tall's rise as well. I mean, I've been watching that too, and keeping an eye on your shows and stuff, man. I'm feeling kind of bummed.
Why? Because you're not rising?
No. I'm putting in a lot of work on the outside, so that's.
Yeah. Well, look, I tell this to a lot of people who are getting going, and you know this because you've been doing this for a while. But it's about consistency. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, is consistency. You've got to figure out a way to let your fan base and grow your fan base by letting them know that you're always going to be there. If it's once a day, whatever it is. And for people who actually have real lives, I don't. You know, I'm on my ass. I'm medically retired. I'm hurt. I don't have a real life. So this is perfect for me, you know. But, you know, guys who have real lives, it's not easy to be consistent. You will grow. I mean, you will. It's just you've got to put it in the right places. You got to go into Google Plus communities. You got to network and stuff like that. Now, I've offered this before. I think I've offered it to you. I know I've offered it to almost anybody. Whether or not you pay for it down the line, that's something we'll talk about then. But I'll promote the shit out of you, you know, and I've done a fairly good job with it. But I'll do graphics, or if you get me a graphic, I'll put it in my slideshow. I want to see people grow, you know. I want to see people grow. But I got to be honest, I've not watched any of your videos except for what you did for Real Talk.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to branch more into YouTube. I'm working on another project now. I'm figuring out how to get the footage and stuff for it. And I actually did my first YouTube live stream last night.
Oh, that's cool.
So I checked that out. So yeah, it's taken a little bit, and yeah, definitely the real world stuff. I shouldn't say gets in the way.
Well, I think you can't be scattered either. I think if you're gonna game on YouTube when you're starting out, I don't think that you could just be a blanket gaming channel. I don't think that you could just play whatever you want and expect people to gravitate towards it. I think if you're gonna game, I think you need to pick a game and be consistent. Yeah. That's what I think. That's my opinion. And you know what? I would simulcast on YouTube and Twitch and try to get people to come over from Twitch, because some people do that.
Yeah. I saw Tutal actually do that. He started on YouTube and then went over to Twitch, and now he's got me favored and he's got me following him on there too. So
there you go.
But yeah, it just takes a lot of work. It takes work, and hopefully with some of the things that have been happening here, I'll actually start getting a little bit more free time at nights to be able to do that kind of stuff. So we'll see.
There you go. Well, what do you got for me, man? You called in for a reason. What you got?
Well, I've been looking at the whole brand split thing today, and I was doing a lot of, is it actually a good idea? And it does seem like it's a good idea. I just hope they really play it well. Like, I
think
feel
it
like
forces hands, you know, because all the things that we always say that we want to see longer matches, we want to see better wrestling, we want to see more focus on, you know, simpler storylines. I think you're going to see that if they split the brand. Look, NXT is got a pretty large roster, right? But we don't see the same guys every single week on NXT, do we? Because they do a good job of spacing stuff out. There's no reason, and NXT's roster is probably no more than 20 people, and they can easily have that on both Raw and SmackDown without shedding a fucking tear. So I think it's definitely doable. Sean Ross asks, Dave, what level are you on Supercard? On Exhibition, I'm at Ultra Rare, and on the fucking Road to Glory, I'm on that Randy Orton card that no, not the Randy Orton card, the one before the Randy Orton card, or maybe it is Randy Orton, that I'm not going to be able to get, and and there is Super Rare Plus. I'm not playing as much as you are, Sean. You're crazy. What else you got for me, man?
The whole thing with Shinsuke. Shinsuke. Yes, Shinsuke.
You can't do the U. I got fucking castrated for it.
Really?
Oh yeah, people. I was getting all kinds of fucking hate shit over that. It's not Shinsuke. It's Shinsuke. You say it quickly. Fuck off. You know, that's what I said. But I ended up doing it because, you know, it's his name. I do believe names mean something.
Yeah. I'm really I think that for me is going to be one of the bigger matches to watch. I mean, the whole weekend wise, that Zayn Nakamura match is just, if that gets played out well, which those guys can definitely do it and pull it off.
Yeah.
The main card at WrestleMania is going to want to look at that and go, all right, we got a lot of work to do.
Well, you know, I don't see. I don't think that's how it works. You know, because like I've said, I think that they're going to be accomplishing different things. You know what you're going into NXT TakeOver for. You know what you're going to look for. You're going to look for these amazing wrestling matches. And if you are a little bit excited about WrestleMania, it's because of the spectacle. It's whether whether you're one of those people who really want to see what The Rock is going to do, whether you're one of these people who want to see how Shane and Undertaker, which is only going to be a spectacle match, you want to see how that's going to play out. Very few people are like, man, that Shane or that Roman Triple H is going to be a barn burner. No. Yeah, there are people who are excited about AJ and Chris Jericho. That's going to be a really great match. I'm excited for that. And fucking the Intercontinental Championship ladder match. You got the Divas title. But WrestleMania is more of the spectacle. It's going to be this big grandiose thing. Jerry World is going to be insane. I'm really excited about it. I'm excited about the whole weekend. It's not that I'm necessarily excited about WrestleMania in and of itself, but I'm excited about the entire weekend.
Yeah. I mean, the weekend is always it's always something that we look for. I know in your case, it's like the huge thing. It's essentially like your Super Bowl, I guess I should put it.
Well, I mean,
in a way,
I'm not just a wrestling fan. I'm an everything fan. So
yeah.
I mean, the Super Bowl is my Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But this is the Super Bowl of wrestling. It's the biggest event in wrestling. Quite literally, it's going to break the record. It's going to break the attendance record. It's going to be insane. I'm really excited for it. To hear 5 weeks ago that they had already broken 85,000 sold tickets, and that was confirmed. That was not bullshit. That tells me that there is a lot of legitimate hype for this event where people are not as soured upon the WWE as some of the smarks and people who think they fucking know better want to make you believe.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And I think what I found really interesting in watching all of the promos and everything over the last couple weeks, they've not been doing a lot of the promo on The Rock. It's been just generic WrestleMania.
They keep showing the same one. And it's because apparently he's going to call his own shot. Apparently, they do not know what he's doing quite yet, but he's basically going to show up that day and go, here's what I'm doing. Hope you enjoy it.
Wow.
Hey, hang out with me for a second. I'm going to take another caller.
Sure.
718, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got? 718, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
I can hear you better. And I just have to say one thing. If they do the brand split, I don't understand because Vince said Shane gets control of everything. So
No. That's not what he said. What he said was you get control of Raw, which essentially is control of the entire company. It's not the entire company. The next night.
Would they bring back Teddy?
What's that?
Would they bring back Teddy Long or no?
No. Look, the authority's not going away. I believe Triple H and Stephanie, or one of them, will go to SmackDown and control SmackDown. I don't think it's going to be like a general manager. I think it's going to be like a straight-up ownership. That's how I think they're going to play it this time, where it's going to be a little bit different. I think they're going to try to really make it like it's actually two separate brands owned by two separate people. I think that's why it's going to be a little bit different than the regular brand split that we've seen before. And that gets me a little excited.
Yeah, so you think we'll probably end up seeing Shane Triple H in a match eventually?
No, I don't. I think this Shane is a one-time thing, wrestling. I don't even know how long he's going to be around with the company. Just long enough to shake things up. You don't put this in motion and not shake up the entire groundwork of WWE. Look, here's the reality. If nothing changes at WrestleMania, if something big doesn't happen where Raw does get under control of Shane and things are on a shift, I don't know how much longer I'm going to give a fuck. I got to be honest.
Yeah. Well, you're going to have to assume 100% that Shane is winning this match.
I do.
Because if Shane does not win this match, there is going to be major problems with WWE. The viewership is going to go down. It's going to go.
No, it might go down for a little bit, but that's the thing. People assume that WWE is always going to fail. It's never going to fail. Right now, it's on this self-fucking sustaining thing. And even if nothing changes, they're still going to have the guys like AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. I mean, they're still going to be able to do their own things. I just think that they're at a tipping point where if they kind of want to go into a direction where they're changing the era and changing the perception in some of the mainstream, the main hardcore wrestling fans, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that's the tipping point that they're at. As far as their viewership, they're still going to be number 1 to number 3 every single night in Raw and SmackDown. Still going to be the case. You know, people talk about how bad their viewership is. They're still number 1, 2, or 3 every single week. So TV has changed. So their damn stock is still trading between $16 and $20 at any given time. They're doing okay. And they're going to continue to do okay, especially with some of the talent that's coming back. So what I'm talking about is more of a changing of the era, you know?
Yeah. What you said about The Rock earlier has me wondering, is it the same as Stone Cold? He can call his own shots and do whatever he wants, just like The Rock?
Even more so. Look, the Stone Cold still has some restrictions. I guarantee you Vince still tells, in fact, we've seen it, Vince still vetoes Stone Cold. He got in his ass for that whole shit they did with Heyman. The Rock is such a big star that you can't tell The Rock no. The Rock is like, people may not want to hear this, but The Rock is a much bigger star than Stone Cold Steve Austin. And not just in the wrestling world. The Rock is legitimately a top 3 draw in entertainment, period.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's interesting.
Yeah, one last thing. Was Zack Ryder like a sub for Neville? I 100% think it was.
I don't know if he was a sub. I think more of like for the actual match, like who's going to be taking his spots is more of Sin Cara. But I think you got a guy like Zack Ryder who's now being portrayed as like a dark horse, which I think is kind of cool. And it's kind of a feel-good story type of situation. So I like that.
All right, well, that's all I have. Oh, one more thing. I watched this crazy video on, like, how Seth Rollins will return, and disagree with me if you think this is how it should happen. Like, Triple H goes, he's like, oh, yeah, we're back together again. Like, smacks his hand, and then, like, gives him, like, a curb stomp. That'd be awesome.
No, bye. He said agree. Just agree with me if you agree with me. Well, no, bye. See you later. Fuck.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
I gotta say, the Dark Horse thought on Zack Ryder's interesting. Is it sad that like there's probably a lot of people out there that actually want to see him win this?
Yeah, I maybe not see him win it, but I think there's a lot of people who will be excited if he wins it. Like, they'll pop more than they think they will, and I'm probably one of them. I've thought about it because it would be so unexpected, but at the same time, it's like, really? Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and you're going to give it a woo Zack Ryder? Really? But if Zack gets a legitimate spot out of this, and that, I mean, Zack is talented, dude. Zack is super talented. He's a talented guy, so who knows? King Shola says, Dave, what do you think of WWE 2K16? I love it. It's a great game. I can't wait for fucking WrestleMania week to be over and all of this craziness so I can start playing more of that. I am excited about that. I think the game is a lot of fun. It's flawed, but all the wrestling games are. But it's a really good game, man. It's a pretty fun game. And I have the damn ported version on Steam, and I'm saying that. And it's still, the glitches don't ruin it for me. It's so big. It's so expansive. It's a great game. It really is. It's the best wrestling game I've ever played. And
I'm really toying with picking it up and trying it. I don't know if I want to get it for my Xbox or if I want to get it for the PC. I mean, I know I could I checked the specs on that, and I know I could definitely run it on there. So,
it can be glitchy. What operating system are you running? Because I'll tell you the problem I had, and I wanted to kill myself.
I have the Windows 10 that you had to upgrade.
Yes, because I was stubborn, and I was like, "Fuck Windows 10. I love my 8.1. I was perfectly fine with it." And little did I know that not only was the reason why I couldn't play the WWE 2K games, but Windows 10 it's the balls. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's weird because that's a lot of people are, they don't like it for God knows what. I know the security thing is something that, people have issues with, but there's ways around
You get your
that.
own independent security fucking systems. What's the problem?
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
And that's the whole thing. It runs very well. And I honestly have it running between, my computer, my Xbox, they sync together. My phone syncs together with the Xbox, which syncs together with my computer. I can keep track of pretty much everything I need to wherever I am. And it's really, really nice.
Yeah, it is. I don't do any of that merging or syncing or any of that shit.
Yeah.
Too Tall's got it right. I'm old man Dave. I'm very simple. I believe phones are for fucking phone calls. I'm very simple. I'm a simple kind of man. I really am. And Windows 10 blew me away. I was really surprised at how much I liked it. I used to be into all the tech stuff. I used to fix computers, build computers, and all that crap back in the day. But I haven't in like 8 years. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah, it's something else. I'm sitting here wondering the next upgrade on my computer, what I need to do, but I know it's a long ways off. So
There you go. So yeah, last call for calls, folks. If you want to get your voice heard, if you got questions, go ahead and put them in the chat or call in on Skype, David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA, or use the number 702-751-2902. Get your voice heard. Now's the time, because if we don't, I'm going to go to sleep. And that'll be great. So, that'll be great.
yeah. Oh, it's funny. Sal just came on. He said, my problem with Windows 10 is it tries to spy on me. There are people on YouTube, if you go and check them out, Sal, they actually have ways that you can remove that.
Does it sometimes feel like that somebody's watching you?
I always feel like somebody's watching me. And I have no privacy.
Somebody's watching me. There you go. I don't got much more else to say. I'm stretching now. I'm waiting for people to call in, but if you can see in my eyes, I'm pretty tired, pretty beat up, and I'm excited about slumber. Not the long sleep, because that's death, and that's terrifying. So I don't want the long sleep. I hope not tonight, at least. Jesus Christ. Not when the Cubs are going to win the World Series this year. Holy crap. Oh, don't do that to me now. It'll be great. Hey, make sure that you guys are checking out everything that's going on in the channel. Make sure you're here tomorrow night if you like baseball and you just like good old sports talk, that you're here for the fucking Dead on Dave Productions Fantasy Baseball Draft. It's going to be a lot of fun. Very excited about it. And then gear up for next week, baby, because we got a lot going on, man. We got a lot going on, and I might die. Who knows? It's going to be great.
That's going to be fun. That's going to be a hell of a week. I know that much.
It is. I'm probably going to do something like a round table. I haven't decided yet. I might reach out to some other YouTubers and some other like wrestling personalities and see if they want to do like a round table discussion on WrestleMania. But I have a feeling that's just going to result in me getting dragged out in handcuffs. So maybe not a good idea. I don't know. I might just do it with Too Tall. Tommy C was talking about doing it, but Tommy doesn't watch a lot of wrestling all the time. So he's like, a lot of Tommy's opinions are from like 20 years ago. Chris Payne, why is your name Dead on Dave? Because I'm fucking dead on, dude. There you go. Because I'm fucking dead on. And it just sounds cool. That's always been a nickname I've had because I'm very opinionated, if you haven't noticed. And I'm right fairly often. And so my friends were like, man, that's dead on, dude. That's dead on. And then, so I always had that going. And then Tommy C coined it when we started Shot from the Point together. And he was like, Dead on Dave. And it just kind of stuck. So, yeah, he's kind of credited with doing it. But I was called that before for a long time. But, yeah, there you go. Let's take another caller before we get up out of here, y'all. Sean Bonner, make it quick, Sean. I'm tired. What you got? Sean Bonner, are you there? God damn you, Sean Bonner. I tried to take your call and you're not there. Fuck. I stayed on for him. Fuck. King Shola, Dave, how do you feel about Vince Russo? I listened to his podcast and I agreed to so much of what he said, but I have many reservations on him and his terrible gimmick matches. Much appreciated, bro. X. Vince Russo is an interesting guy. Probably gets more credit for some things in wrestling than he deserves, and probably gets more blame for things in wrestling than he deserves. I don't really trust the guy. I think he's exploitative. I don't like the way he takes advantage of people sometimes. I think he says things sometimes, like he did with that amazing Stone Cold podcast that he recently did, that I don't know if he believes everything that he says. Sometimes I think he does it to appeal to certain people, because other things that he says on other podcasts are direct fucking hypocrisies to it. So I think that Vince Russo is probably one of the most interesting and convoluted people in the history of wrestling.
Yeah, his opinion does tend to get a little kind of awkward sometimes, doesn't it?
Because it's all over the place. He's not consistent at all. I don't think he cares as much about wrestling as he once did. He talks about all the time how that the only reason why he watches WWE is because he's paid to do it, which I gotta be honest, as bad as WWE could be, it's still the most balanced product out there. I don't give a fuck. When you can look at a terrible Raw like last Monday and still take away Kevin Owens and AJ Styles, which will be a match of the fucking year candidate.
Yeah.
It's still a very balanced product. It's just so easy to hate. When you're number one, you're so easy to hate. And that's the thing. King Shola, can I call in, Dave, or do you want to sleep? Well, I've been asking for calls for the past fucking hour. Where were you then? Yes, I'll take your call. But come on, get the fuck in here. If you're going to call in now. If not, fuck off. Let's go. Come on, motherfuckers. Let's go.
I'm still bummed about how that whole thing on Monday with the New Day went after what they did at the live show on Sunday. What they did on the live show on Sunday was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
They had a better segment on SmackDown. Not much better, but it was better.
They had a triple threat. They actually had a tag team. They were putting the belts on the line against the Dudleys and the Usos, and wrestling for the New Day was Xavier and Kofi.
Yeah.
So they did the whole Bubba did the whole slap that he's got, and he did it on Xavier's back, and he did the whole getting up, and it hurt like heck. And then one of the Usos came out and started doing it, and he turned and he went to go tag in Kofi, and Kofi just buried him with a chop.
I gotta be honest, you're boring the piss out of me. I'm gonna take a call.
Okay.
Steve Smith, what you got? We're rapid fire here. We're trying to get up out of here. What you got?
Yeah, I know you're wrapping things up, mate, but it's Steve Smith's alter ego, King Shola.
Oh, okay, you're King Shola.
Yeah.
Okay, what
Because
you
I
got?
got blocked months ago, and I thought I'd make another one. All I'm wondering is, like, are you excited for WrestleMania, or are you holding back a bit?
I'm very excited for WrestleMania. I've said it many times. I'm excited for WrestleMania because I'm looking at it as a spectacle. I've said this so many times. I'm sure people are tired of hearing me say it. I'm very excited because of the spectacle, of the possibilities of what we're going to see. And I think there are more better matches. There are better matches than people are probably willing to acknowledge. But I think you got 3 or 4 matches that are going to potentially be fantastic. You know, if not just good, but they're going to be fantastic. And then you're going to have all these questions that are going to be answered with who's doing what and where the direction of the company is going. So yeah, I am excited, and I'm excited to see what they do with that goddamn Coliseum that is Jerry World. I mean, yeah, I'm super excited.
Right, what I'm thinking is it's going to be a great match with Kevin Owens in the ladder match.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a
the
great
Intercontinental
match.
title ladder match is gonna be great. Yeah.
It's going to be a spectacle with McMahon and Undertaker because we don't know what's going to happen, do we?
It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It will be. And with Roman and Triple H,
I think that's going to surprise people. I think that match is going to surprise people. I think it's going to be a decent match.
Yeah, I do too as well, mate. But everyone's thinking that Roman's going to win, but I've got a feeling that Roman will lose and have a heel turn.
I think it's possible
I think that'll happen. Honestly, I do.
I think it's very possible at this point. They are starting to change his character now, though, which I find it interesting.
Yeah.
Monday they had him different. I thought he was awesome on SmackDown. I really did. I thought he did a really good job on SmackDown. So who knows? That's part of the mystery of what is going to happen at WrestleMania. You got the women's the Divas title match. That's going to be fucking awesome. My God, that's going to be a great match.
I couldn't give a fuck about the.
Oh, that's going to be great. AJ Styles and Chris Jericho.
Yeah, that'll be
Y2J, baby! That's going to be a great match. So, I'm excited.
Dave, what was your thoughts on Y2J when he was in Toronto the other week? Just giving shit to Bret Hart.
Well, he's a heel. And he loves Bret Hart. They have a good relationship. He was just being a heel. He was being a dick. This is the same guy who once went to Toronto and gave this speech about, I was walking around and smelling all of the air and seeing all the people, and then I realized something. Thank God I moved to the States because Canada sucks. And it was just like all the things that he does. He shits on Canada. He's great. He's a great heel. He's one of the greatest heels of all time.
I like Jericho.
He's the Ayatollah of rock and rolla, baby.
That's a good impression, bro.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, look, Steve, I appreciate it, buddy. You have yourself a good night.
Okay, you can kick us off the.
I'm going to bed.
Your little podcast you going there, mate. I'll see you later.
I'm going to bed about time, I think. So, take it easy,
see you
buddy.
later.
Kate Sosa, Dave, I made a video about Joe Cronin that I want you to see. Nah, I'm good. I don't care about any of that drama bullshit. I have nothing. I got no hatred towards Joe Cronin. He's doing his thing. I'm doing my thing. And why? Everyone wants to start shit all the time. Stop being fucking shit starters. What the fuck? Taylor May, 420 Rogers. The Diva 3 match should be a 2 out of 3 falls. Drag it out as long as possible. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it needs to be 2 out of 3. I think they can drag it out with just a 1 falls match. We'll see. Gun Cannon, I appreciate you hanging out with me, man. You have yourself a good night, buddy.
You too.
Take it easy, bud. Gun Cannon, everybody, did a good job. Make sure you check him out. Gun Cannon, put your information in the chat so people can find you and sub to your punk ass. Okay? Other than that, I hope you guys have yourselves a fantastic evening. I think we're about done. No, Dave, it's not bashing him. It's comedy. I don't watch him either. Just because I have no hatred for the guy doesn't mean I watch stuff with him either. So it's okay. Sean Bonner, did you get my message? What message? Let me see. Probably. I think you said about setting the order. No, I don't want to set the order before. I like it doing random as soon as the thing goes. No tomfuckery. No tomfuckery, dude. No tomfuckery. None. So there's Gun Cannon's Twitch TV, Gun Cannon 15. There you go. Go check him out. Thank you guys for joining me right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Hope you had a fun evening. I had a great time. Thank you guys for hanging out, man. It's been fun. 2,200 subs and beyond. Thank you for that. We got the baseball draft tomorrow night and so much more throughout the week. Make sure you are checking out everything and keeping an eye out because you never know when another link will show up and I'll be going live doing my thizzle because I am starting to feel better. I'm feeling better, man. I'm feeling a little bit better. Still feel like shit. I'm about to go throw up, I think, right now because I don't feel good. But I'm starting to feel a little bit better. And more better things are on its way. So thank you very much. We'll see you next time right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Like, subscribe, and share. Share, folks. Share it. go to Twitter and share it. Let everybody know you just watched a copious fat man break it down. Break it down for an hour and 17 minutes, okay? Other than that, that's all I got. Make sure that, as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends, folks. We'll see you next time. Keep it copious, folks. Peace.